Pregame.com.
Penn State, 4-point road favorite at Northwestern. This is Brian's pick. Who do you like?
I'm going to take the home dog plus the 4 here. You've got a Penn State team who's played 2 road games this year. They outscored Temple 14-10, and they beat Indiana 16-10.
Yep.
This team doesn't have enough offense to be able to win by a margin on the road. They've been held to 16 or less points in 4 of their 7 games they've played this season. And they've got Illinois revenge on deck. And if you remember that game from last year, they lose 33-13 at home to the Illini.
Yep. And
that's their worst home loss since 2007. And it's a situation, Northwestern's much better in the underdog role. I am a little bit concerned about the Northwestern defense, but the Penn State offense is so bad, I'm not sure they're going to be able to put up enough points to cover this number. And once again, they're without their best receiver. So you're asking a team who doesn't score many points to win by a margin on the road. I'm not buying into it. I'll take Northwestern here.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% here. I think Penn State is overrated and definitely overvalued. Nothing reflects that more than their 1-5 ATS mark. You know, they're not covering numbers.
It's rare when you, what are they, 6-1
6
on
and
the
1
season,
straight up,
and they've got a 1-5 ATS mark.
Exactly.
That just doesn't happen.
No, exactly. So this is a team that's not covering numbers. And usually I'd look at it and say, you know what, that may be a team I want to start backing because the market's going to change their position and they're going to start undervaluing them. But when I look to see where they're ranked in the BCS, Penn State's 21st in the country. And when you look at where the odds makers poll has them, that Tully puts out, they're not even in the top 30. Yeah. So that tells me that the reason they're 1-5 against the spread, 1-5-1, is because they're overrated and overvalued. And this isn't a team that I now want to look to start backing, thinking that, all right, they should start covering now. You know, the market's going to correct itself. There's no reason for the market to correct itself. I agree with you. I like Northwestern in this spot. And I lean over, to be honest with you. I know Penn State don't score, but I think at 47.5, this game could go over because Northwestern can put up some points. You know, and I don't think they'll be able to totally stop Penn State. You know, Penn State will have a little more success offensively against this team than against some of the others. As bad as they played, I think they should start getting going a little bit. But more importantly, this is the second lowest total for Northwestern this year. And they've gone 4-2 to the over. And this is the second highest total for Penn State, who's gone 5-0-1 to the under. So it kind of looks to me like they're baiting you into trying to take that under. And as long as it's below that 49, I don't know, I lean over.
Yeah, I can understand the over. Part of it is Northwestern's got a quarterback that may be playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
And the defense is not very good for Northwestern. If you follow the Wildcats the last few years, it's a team that tires as the game goes on. The problem with the physical strength of this team, because how many times has Northwestern dominated the game and then at the end given up a backdoor touchdown? With the situation where we're getting right now, we're at home, we're getting 4 points. I don't think that's going to be an effect. And Penn State, you know, I think a lot of it is when they only scored 16 against Indiana.
Yeah.
That is my only concern because...
Yeah, that's why I'll have to end up probably passing. It won't make my card, just a lean, you know. But I agree. I like the Northwestern side. You know, I can't count. I wish I could counterpunch and go the other way, but I can't. I got to lean that way. You got a big game going this weekend.
Yeah, I've done very well with my games of the years, 7-1-1. We actually had 2 of them last week, East Carolina and Dallas. Only one this week. It's one big play on this week's card.
Is the line going against you again?
You know, the reason why the line went against me, there was 2 injuries from East Carolina last week, and I knew about them already. I bet it down at the win.
You factored into your price.
I knew it already.
Right.
A lot of times, if you're doing your homework, you'll know these injuries. You'll know the people that are, you know, for example, Miami, Florida, this week I knew there's going to be suspension.
Right.
We talked about this on Tuesday.
Right.
It came out today. The line got to 3 last
right
night,
away
and people
moved.
started betting the other way. If you're on top of these things, and we'll get to this Twitter thing in a second, you know these things are going to happen already. So you're ahead of the line move when these things happen. So even though the line move went down, I didn't fear it. In fact, I had a game of the year on Temple, my MAC game of the year, and that was bet the other way too. So I'm not worried about that. I'm ahead of the line moves. I mean, Twitter's great, and you can follow me at B Leonard Sports on Twitter. And anytime I see an article, I tweeted out the one about the defensive lineman for Miami
Yeah,
last
yeah,
night.
no, you've sent out some good
Yeah,
stuff.
you find something good and you send it out. And so if you follow me on Twitter, you're able to get that information. But you want to get this big play this week. 7-1-1 on our games of the years, and our top play goes this Saturday.
Gotta love it. Continue this conversation. Go to pregamevideos.com. All the videos will be up and available in one thread. And we've all agreed, all the guys doing the videos, to go into that thread throughout the week and answer any questions. So don't be afraid to chime in. We'll be back doing another college football game, which will be my best bet on Kansas State versus Kansas.